Hangout Cafe family, join me in welcoming to Hangout Cafe, Tomi Waziri. Thank you for joining us. So Tomi, if I was interviewing you somewhere else and I said, what do you do? What do you do now?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for having me once again, and thanks to everyone who's, showing all the love. I remember the Instagram hearts, and the way it pops up. I don't know if that's the way it is now. So my name is Tomi, first of all, Tomi Waziri. I am also known as the Illuminator, but my mentor calls me the Blind Illuminator. So basically, I help people to discover the light in their darkness. So that's what I did in nutshell. So basically, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm also a writer. I wrote my first book as a blind person. I am also an entrepreneur. I'm into logistics. I am also a blind YouTuber. I'm also a relationship coach. Myself and my wife, we are passionate about people having successful relationships as well. Also inspiring people with our own love story. So basically, I'm just all about humanity. I'm also the founder of the Tomi Waziri Foundation, dedicated to reaching out to persons with disabilities. I launched my foundation after I became blind. That was like a year after. Wow. I never had plans to, set up a foundation, but it's actually dedicated to putting food on the tables of persons with disabilities, and also reaching out to juvenile centers and just, sharing love, spreading the message of forgiveness, as I was able to, taking people through the process of how they're able to forgive themselves. Yeah. And also how you can forgive those that hurt you. So I go around, go to juvenile homes, young people, that have perpetrated crimes, like teenagers in, juvie. And I just try to teach them about forgiveness, and take them through my journey of how I forgave the young man who is not more than, I can remember his face, who is not more than 19 or 18 years. Wow. And just take them through that process of how I was able to forgive. So that's basically who I am and what I do. Thank you.
Wow. Tomi, you are busier than most people who have full sight. Wow. Amazing. That is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, I think it's time to hear your story. So I guess it started off as another day where you were just doing your job. So tell us what happened this fateful day, 3 years ago, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. This happened. So I'm sorry, you guys will be hearing my son's voice.
I think we can hear you clearly. I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay, it happened September 12th, 2019, precisely. Okay, I just finished from school, but I was so big on being a businessman. I always wanted to be my own boss, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to be an employer of labor. I didn't want to wait for the government, so I just hit the road, went to Computer Village. For those of us who are Nigerians and Lagosians that Computer Village, it was this hustle and bustle, so I just wanted to help my mom as well and support my mom, because coming from a family of a single parent, taking care of 4 kids, right. Being the first son, I just wanted to just go out there and support mom, and just start up something for myself, but unfortunately, well, let me just say fortunately, as God will have it. And I know people will understand why I say fortunately. I picked up my rider that day, September 12th. It was around 8:30
you were an Uber driver?
Yes, I was an Uber driver. Yes, sorry, I forgot to mention that. So I started driving as an Uber driver with my car.
Okay.
I picked up the rider. Myself and the rider, we are still very much close till today. I picked up that rider from Victoria Island, 1004 estates at Victoria Island. And
but those who don't know, that's in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay.
Yes, that's and that's on the island.
On the island, yes.
Yeah, so we're heading towards the mainland, and unfortunately for me, I didn't know that was a notorious place for armed robbers. I asked the rider if I should use the Google map. Okay. And one thing about Google Maps, it takes you to the fastest route, even though there's traffic. Okay. There was the longer route, which was the Third Mainland Bridge, but it was long.
Okay.
But you know, because it wants to give you a better route, it will still take you through traffic, but the time is lower.
Okay.
You know, and I want everybody to learn about that. All right, so we were around Akpomo Bridge. That was where it happened. There was traffic on Akpomo Bridge on somewhere on Lagos Island,
Okay.
and we encountered a little bit of traffic, slow moving traffic.
Right.
The cars were moving slowly, and the next thing I saw were two young boys, and these boys are not more than 18 years. I can remember them like it's yesterday.
Yeah.
So I thought we were just people coming back from work. This was around 8:30 p.m. I literally thought, I mean, I didn't take them seriously. So I just
I
noticed
believe
one
you
of
said
them.
that. You said they were well dressed. That's why you
Oh
thought.
yes, they were. You know, they looked. That's why I said I thought they were just people coming back. They look good.
Okay.
Like they looked handsome. You know. So I just didn't take them serious. But what made me kind of worried was I noticed one of them was looking into the car.
Okay.
And he was looking in a very suspicious way. Like he was trying to notice what was inside the car. And as an Uber driver, I've heard a lot of stories. And it started to click that I think we are about to get robbed.
Right.
You know, and at that point, I didn't even take it seriously. But I noticed that I looked through my side mirror, they passed.
Yeah.
Then I noticed they stopped behind my car.
Okay.
You know, and that was where the fear started. Because the question was, what's about to happen?
Okay.
You know, I had questions, you know, running in my head, and the next thing I knew, I saw them coming back towards the car. One of them was at the back beside my rider. My rider was directly behind me.
Okay.
You know, so the other one was behind me, facing my rider, telling her to wind down your phone, and you know, they were just trying to intimidate us. And the other one
Okay.
that was beside me
Yeah.
had a gun.
Wow.
Now, I've never been robbed before,
Okay.
and that was the closest I saw a gun to me. You know, I've never seen a gun that close to me before. So I must say that I was scared. I mean, anybody will be scared.
Anybody will be, yes.
Anybody will be. So I was even in shock. I didn't know what to do. All I did was, I was so concerned about my rider. I told her to stay low. This guy has a gun. Keep your stuff under my seat. I don't know if she heard, but I was just trying to, you know, be quiet about it so they don't hear.
Yeah.
You know, but I could hear from the, you know, the window that they're pounding. So I could hear what he was saying. It was like, your phone, your phone. So I was hearing faintly because the window was up.
Yeah.
You know. So this happened within a minute.
Okay.
So before they came back, I had already hidden my phone at the gear that was close to the. There's this pigeonhole in the close to the gear.
Yeah.
So I hid my phone there, and I just said, let me just answer these boys and let me just give them everything I have. You know, the intention was even to give them, but because I was in shock,
Yes.
I mean, the fear was. I don't know how to explain that feeling. You know. Seeing a gun that close, you know, and the guy pointing, you know, I mean, your phone, and he was pointing to my face, you know, and the next thing I knew I did was I reached out to the phone, so my vision was away from him.
Okay.
I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know whether he cocked the gun or he aimed at I just didn't know.
Okay.
So I reached out to my phone. This was how I was. I reached out to my phone, and I looked back towards him, and bang, I heard the sound of the gun, and immediately I got knocked out by the impact. Now, luckily for me, it wasn't a standard gun. It was actually improvised. The policeman said it's pellets, so they improvised this. You know, it's more like a mini shotgun.
Okay.
So it shoots little pellets.
Okay.
So now what happened is that it shattered the glass.
Okay.
I don't know if the guy was impatient or he was scared that I wanted to bring out a weapon.
That's what
something.
I was thinking, that maybe he thought you were going to, yeah.
In fact, that was what the police suspected, that maybe because of that gesture,
Yeah.
that you know. But I mean, it's history. I don't want to think about it, you know. So I just knocked. I passed out, you know, because the impact was huge. Now I need to take off my glasses here so people can see my eyes, you know. So the impact of the glass.
Yeah.
I had bruises on my sunglasses were lodged in my skin.
Right.
That's how heavy the impact was. So the pellets actually pierced both eyes. I'm sorry, trigger warnings.
Okay.
So if you can see, my eyes they got damaged.
Yeah.
So it actually, see, as I speak to you, I have pellets on my nose here, and there's
Wow.
one lodged in my bone here, underneath my jaw. Then as you see, I have braces on, and you can see.
Yeah.
So he broke these two front teeth. So why I said luckily for me that it wasn't a standard gun. A standard gun would have been a headshot. It would have been a headshot, and
Yes.
I probably wouldn't be alive to today. Today rather. So it happened so fast, and I remember gaining consciousness to the scream of the rider. Oh my gosh, they just shot you, and she was screaming, and at this point I wasn't even feeling pain,
Wow.
but I was feeling something wet coming out of my face.
Okay.
I had just regained consciousness after, I think, a couple of seconds.
Okay.
But these guys, I remember when I felt the guy trying to reach out in the car, trying to reach out to something he can take. Then when I regained consciousness, I think it was shocked that I was able to regain consciousness. Then
Okay.
immediately he just took off. He took off with his accomplice.
Okay.
And at
But
this point,
did they take the phone from
they
you?
didn't take the phone.
They didn't take.
Funny enough. Now this is even a phone that is not more than $100.
Wow. Wow.
So the rider was screaming. I didn't know what was going on at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice I couldn't see.
Because you're still in
this
shock.
trauma.
Yeah.
That shock, I was still hearing that sound, and later on, I was literally focused on the rider, and I told her that I'll be fine. She was like, "Are you serious? You're bleeding and all of that." It didn't still get to me that what was going on. I was just telling her that hope she's okay, hope she's fine. Just saying, you're asking me if you're fine. You just got shot. You're asking me if you're fine. I've always cared about that next person beside me.
Okay.
So apart from work ethics, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
So I told her to go get help. She didn't want to leave initially. So she ran down from the car. She was privileged to get into another Uber. So that was down the bridge. She ran down the bridge. So they were able to get the attention of two policemen. Now, before these two policemen came, I was left alone for about 40 minutes.
40
Now, I'm
minutes.
going to take you through this 40 minutes in a very short. I'll make it short.
Okay.
This was actually the emotional, where the emotions were actually, raging, and it was really, really getting emotional here.
Right.
I was left alone.
Okay.
And thinking that people will support and help me.
Yeah.
And I won't blame any Nigerian, but this was what happened.
Yeah.
I crawled out of the car. At this point, I started feeling the pain because I was alone.
Yeah.
And I realized I couldn't see. I touched my eyes.
Yeah.
It literally felt like broken egg. When the egg just breaks slightly. I crawled out of the car. I was already, the pain was increasing. It was like multiple needles in my head.
Wow.
I crawled out of the car. I was bleeding. I literally felt the blood pouring out.
Yeah.
All my shirt was soaked. My trousers were soaked. My pants were soaked. So I crawled out. And the next thing I knew I needed to do was try to get the attention of people to come to my rescue. I waved. I shouted with all the languages I knew that Lagosians could understand.
And nobody.
Nobody.
Wow.
And this was
what time of the day was this? Was it night?
This was around 8:30 p.m.
8:30. Okay.
So I was waving and screaming, "Hey Joe, help! I beg, help me!" and pidgin English, everything. And you see, it's so heartbreaking to be in such a lonely moment of your life where you have this fear that what if you die this way?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the most painful thing is listening to cars pass by.
Yeah.
And I knew that they were seeing me.
Yeah.
But because of the system, nobody wants to come and help.
Wow.
So at this point, I got tired of waving, screaming for help. And this was where I started to talk to God like in Hollywood movies. You see, I can laugh about this now, but it was so emotional. I really don't. I try to be hilarious when I'm sharing my story because I don't want to get people emotional. I want people to be inspired instead.
Yeah.
It's okay for you to be emotional. Now, I laid back down, and at this point I said, God, you see, right now, I think I might just die this way. So have mercy on me. You start to reflect in your life, and it was such an emotional moment. I could literally feel tears
Wow.
and blood coming out of my eyes.
Wow.
You know.
I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to say.
You see, the pain was there. The emotional pain was there that I won't get to hold my mom. I won't get to hold my siblings, or they get to hold me. I thought I was going to die like that, because the bleeding was continuous.
Yeah.
So now I laid back down and I just prayed to God. I said, God, just find a way to tell my loved ones I love them. Yada yada yada. To cut the long story short, God sent 2 policemen in form of angels. I call them angels. So those 2 policemen that were notified actually came after about 30 minutes.
So they were notified by
the rider and the driver that the car that she was in.
Okay.
So my hazard was on, so I purposely put on the hazard. Okay. I was just beside my car on the covert in between both lanes.
Okay.
So I was just there laying down. So they noticed me, and immediately the inspector picked me up. The other one took the steering. We started another 1-hour journey.
Wow. And all this time you were bleeding? And
I was bleeding. I was in so much pain. It got to a point. I usually don't say this, but I have to say it. It got to a point I told the policeman to shoot me.
Wow.
That's how painful it was. I couldn't breathe. My face was swollen from the impact. My nose was everywhere. I looked like a monster, literally.
Wow.
I couldn't breathe properly. There was blood clots from my nose. You know, that's why I don't like showing people that picture. I have the picture. I don't like showing anyone that picture. You know, so to cut the long story short, we got to the hospital. By the time we got to the hospital, I was already weak. I couldn't respond. My hands were cold. See, guys, I literally felt life leaving my body.
My goodness. Because of the pain.
I felt it like what you see in the movies. I felt it because I could hear faint voices. Like I was hearing them from afar.
Okay. It
was so low. Like, hey, look what they did to this guy. You know, blah, blah, blah. And people were just yelling in the hospital. They were so shocked, you know, to see this kind of, it was a first thing for a lot of people. And, you know, I couldn't move. Some people thought I was dead, you know, but the hospital did a great job. This was military hospital at Yaba in Lagos.
Right.
So they did a great job. They injected me. I don't know what it was, but I started to feel strength, you know, come back. At this point, they had already called my mom when they were driving. Okay. They asked for my mom's number. I gave them, you know, even when I was in pain, you know. So at this point, my mom came. She saw me. My mom fell to the ground.
Wow.
And she screamed, you know.
My goodness. So when did you fully know the full extent of the damage that had been done to you?
Now, by the time, in fact, let me just say this. Yeah. Now, the damage was so obvious, but the doctor was surprised I was still alive.
Okay. Okay.
At this point, I knew that, because the doctor said, Madam, this your son that is alive. You know, he was telling my mom.
Yeah.
That's whatever you are serving, they serve that God do. Now, I didn't understand what he meant. Now, he showed my mom the x-ray, because they did an x-ray. So they actually noticed pellets lodged under my brain.
Wow.
So it didn't touch my brain. It didn't touch my nasal cavity.
Yeah.
That it was even saying if I touched that I would have lost my sense of smell.
Yeah.
He said it didn't touch my spine.
Yeah.
That if I touched my spine, probably they were just at the right place.
Wow.
And this was like up to more than 20 pellets.
Whoa.
That passed through my eyes. You know, he was just surprised. And at this point, when I look back, I think it can only be God.
Definitely, you know, only God. Only God.
My teeth were broken. So now the damage was severe. You know, it was at this point. You see, at this point, I started to ask, will I see again? You know, I was thinking the doctor would do something. I'll be able to see an operation. I fly out of the country.
Yeah.
You know, but the reverse was the case. Now, to just fast forward, they moved me to Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in the same Lagos.
Yeah.
And that was where I got the shocking news. So the doctors were just coming to check my eyes. They will point flashlight on my eyes and ask me if I can see any light. And I just kept on saying, no, I'm not seeing anything.
Goodness.
You know, but see, I had this feeling that, okay, maybe the doctors will not do something. There was also the fear that told me, what if you don't see again? You know, so I remember pulling one of the doctors to me, and this was where the depression started.
Yeah.
And I pulled one of the doctors and I said, you guys keep coming and going and making this sigh like something bad has happened.
Yeah.
And I remember drawing him to me and he said, Tommy, you really want to hear this?
Yeah.
And I said, please tell me what's going on. And he said, Tommy, I'm afraid you might not be able to see again.
Whoa.
And this was after 27 years of being a sighted person.
So what was the first thing that went through your mind? I know you had been hoping that they would do something, but after he said, what went through your mind immediately he said that?
I'm finished.
Wow.
You see, I'm trying to hold back tears.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. That's traumatic for anyone. Anyone. Wow.
Okay.
Let's take your time. Do you want to take a drink or something just to?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
And you see, you know when you feel like you're worthless. I don't know if anybody have ever felt that way. You don't have to even lose your sight.
No.
You know, to feel like it's the end of your life. Like
Yeah.
you just, there's this lack of motivation.
Yeah.
There's this lack of inspiration, and you just feel like a failure. That was what was happening to me at this, point in my life. I fell into depression immediately.
Goodness.
I forgot to pray. I didn't even remember God at this point. I was angry. I was bitter. I was not just angry at the young man that did this to me. I was angry at the system that didn't secure me.
Yep.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm just trying my best to leave the country. It's something we are planning of late.
Okay.
Because I don't want my son to risk going through this. No, it can happen to anybody.
Of course.
It can happen.
Yeah.
What if it was somebody else?
Yeah, it could
And they won't
anyone.
take it the way I did.
Yeah.
Many people are out there who have not gone through half of what I've gone through.
Yeah.
And they are no more.
Yeah.
I just watched, I saw a news on Insta blog about a man who was into this car business and he was in debt. And he committed suicide. That was just yesterday. Yesterday.
Yes.
I saw the news. And it made me rethink. And I look back I just had a rethink. And I look back at my life and I'm like, God, how great you are.
He is great. He is great.
Now, let me just I want to take you guys through the journey, through depression, suicidal ideation, and I was able to get out of it.
Yes, please, because that would definitely help someone.
I was so depressed. I called myself a failure.
But it had nothing to do with you. It wasn't your fault, though.
You see, I like what you said. And that what you said now was one of the things I thought about that made me overcome. But I'll get there.
Okay.
Now, I'm not the same way. I'm trying to relive the experience because I couldn't wrap my head around it. You know, I won't be able to see. I knew the doctor was just trying to be nice. He was only trying to told me the damage is done. You will not be able to see again. Not, I might not.
Yeah.
But that's just the doctor's report. I believe that my God can still do it.
Yes.
I still trust
There's nothing
God.
that is impossible for God to do.
Now, let me just take you guys through this. For an entire week, I was super depressed. There was a point when I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
I remember asking the doctor, is there a way you can inject me? and let me just die.
Wow.
Is there a way you can just let me just die a quiet death, and let me just go? So
what
now,
did the doctor say when he said?
during
Of
this
course, he
period,
said no.
during this period,
Yeah.
my mom, my family, everyone was just trying their best.
Okay.
I didn't listen to anyone. And there's something I want us to learn. When you are going through trials and tribulations in your life, and you have loved ones who cares, let them in.
I love that. Most people shut people out.
You shut your door. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Now, how I started to overcome was I started to let my family in.
Okay.
And this was after a week.
Okay.
People find my story very inspiring because I wasn't depressed for more than 14 days.
Okay.
And I'll take you guys through this process.
Yeah.
Now, at this point in my life, after like 7 days, I started to let my loved ones in. I started to let them know I would cry.
Okay.
You see, guys, I cried to the extent that tears did not come out of my eyes anymore. I don't want to take you through the full details because it's so emotional.
Okay.
My life is like a movie that if you watch, you would your handkerchief will be soaked.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I had big dreams. I wanted to take care of my mom. I had big dreams. Yeah. And I just felt I couldn't achieve any of these dreams as a blind person. But I never knew that God allowed it to happen for a reason. Now, this was what happened. Because I started to let people in, I remember there was a man. I don't know if this man is an angel.
Okay.
I don't know him from anywhere.
Okay.
And he stepped into that word. He said to me, I know you. I saw your story. I went through your Instagram.
Okay.
And he said everybody should excuse us.
Okay.
And it was only once I saw that man. I don't know where he is today. And he said something to me. Everybody was trying to, be pity party, and everybody was just trying to. But this man came with a different energy.
Okay.
And he said to me, I've gone through your Instagram post. This man went down to my old post.
Yes.
And he said to me, now is the time you practice what you preach.
Wow.
So this is who I am. I love to inspire people.
Okay.
If you go to my old post, you see quotes, you see all these things. I like to be that person that will get that other person out of that state of depression or sadness or grief.
Okay.
I'm still that kind of person till now.
Yeah.
So this man reminded me of my strength.
Wow.
And the last thing he said, Tommy, you are a winner.
Wow.
I've seen you. I've seen your story.
Wow.
You're a winner. Always a winner. Once a winner, always a winner. And he stepped out of the hospital bed.
Wow. And you've never seen him since then?
I've never seen him since then. And I thought about those words. Now, one thing I want to say to everyone is, the words you say to yourself matters.
Oh yes, preach it.
I was watching your video with I think Christina.
Yes, she's on. She's actually on now.
I was watching your video with her, and she said something. And when she said that, I had tears roll down my eyes. And it was that part that, the words you say to yourself, it has an effect on you.
Yes.
So I kept on telling myself that I'm a failure. That was my reality. But not until I took that man's advice.
Yeah.
And you see, there was like a gauge in my life. Now, there was this positivity gauge and a negativity gauge. And this was where all the inspiration started. Yeah. Now, I started to say good words to myself. I said, Tommy, you are a winner. I said, Tommy, you are alive. As long as there's life, there's hope. I wake up at night and just keep repeating these things.
Yeah. Wow.
Repeating good words. You are a winner. You are not a failure.
Yes.
You can make it. Cobams is blind. He's doing amazing things. Yes. Steve Wonder is blind. He's doing amazing things.
Yes.
What makes you think you are different? I started, these words. This was how I started.
Yeah.
Now, this was like this step one. The second thing I needed to do was accept what had happened.
What had happened, the reality, yes. Yeah.
Now I want to tell people this.
Yeah.
The more you run away from challenges, the more it chases after you. Why not embrace it?
Wow.
And let it become a part of your stepping stone to a better you. Because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Wow. I love
so
that.
It didn't kill me, but I could use it as a stepping stone. So I had to accept it. So the next thing I knew I needed to do to get out of that depression was to accept that this is my reality. I'm a blind person.
Yeah.
Blind physically, but not blind spiritually.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Blind as a fact, but not blind as truth. I have gained insight.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a result of this experience, and I'm going to explain this topic, and I like that Sister Funke used this topic. Now, the next thing I knew I needed to do was to do what makes me happy. Now, this is the one that helps my clients a lot. People ask me, how do I stay happy? How do I just, they see me smiling all the time. You see my Instagram videos, you see me dancing, and I write this quote that happiness is a choice, you know.
Yes.
You don't, it's something you have to choose.
Yes.
You know, people are surprised, who is this blind man dancing? I love to dance. So this was one thing I knew I needed to do. I needed to take conscious efforts and be deliberate about it, to do what makes me happy. Now, this is hard for many of us, I know. But see, we all have a choice to make. That choice is based on how you love yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I looked at myself, I said, Tommy, you love yourself enough, you don't want to hurt yourself more. So why not do what makes you happy? Now, to come back to what you said, you see, most of the things that happen to us, we have no power over them.
No.
The things that we worry about, the things that gives us fear. But God just used these things as a lesson to us. Sometimes He uses it to make us stronger people.
Yeah.
You know, He just makes us good because He carried the cross. He has gone through it all.
Yes.
He said that in Proverbs 24:16.
Yeah.
If I'm not, Proverbs 24:16. He said, the righteous will fall 7 times, but they will get back up.
Yes.
The only problem is when you stay down. Now, this was what happened to me. I started dancing in the word. The doctors were thinking I was crazy. Now, before this, after the 7 days, this is where the God factor came in.
Yeah.
I now remembered God. I remember on the 7th day, and this was such an emotional moment with God.
Yeah.
I knelt down and I told myself, I said, Tommy, you can't continue if you continue like this, you might just lose it and you might just commit suicide and you would cause more pain for your loved ones. I knew I needed God at this point in my life.
Wow.
So I went back to God and I asked God for forgiveness, first for myself, for calling myself a failure, and telling God that I'm so, please forgive me for forgetting the fact that I am the light of the world.
Whoa. Wow.
I first started with forgiveness.
Wow.
Asking God for forgiveness, that why am I hurting myself this way when I didn't have the power to control that finger that pulled the trigger?
No.
It wasn't my fault in the first place.
No.
It's not about what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you.
Yes. Wow.
It's not our fault we lose that job. It's not in your power that you didn't get that job. It's not in your power you lost that loved one.
No.
It's never, most of the times, it's never in our power.
No.
So why do we let it hurt us? But you see, sometimes we are the one doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't even realize it. And that is just the way life has made it to be.
Yeah.
But not until you do self-evaluation, you now start to realize that I'm the one literally hurting myself.
Yep.
Now, this was what happened. I knelt down and after the forgiveness part of my prayer, that was where the tears started to roll down. You see, there was this quiet tears. I didn't want my mom to wake up because my mom was lying down on the floor. And I was just crying out to God. I said, God, I know you're a miracle worker. You did it in the time of blind Bartimaeus.
Yeah.
I don't want to be worried. I know if it's your will, you will give me back my sight. But I said something. I said, while I am a blind person, God, make it worthwhile.
Wow.
Hold my hand
Wow.
and take me through this process. Use me, because I started to see that people were inspired that this guy is already acting so positive,
Yeah.
saying, they'll be hear me whisper, I am the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. That greatness is my destiny. I am who God says I am. I have what God says I have. My life is moving in a singular direction, upward and forward. I am unstoppable. I am undefeatable. I can remember this because this was my experience.
Wow.
I am excellent in all that I do. I am a pace setter. I am a solution provider. I am the light of the world.
Well, yes, you are.
So the nurses were hearing all this. They're like, is this guy crazy?
I'm sure they thought you had probably lost it.
They thought I was crazy because it was so short that this guy is supposed to still be crying and
Yes.
Be depressed,
Yeah.
but I will be laughing.
Yeah.
I will sing songs like, I'll rise up, rise like the day.
Wow.
I rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise,
Yes.
1,000 times again.
Wow.
That's Andrea Day, Rise of Andrea Day. So I put that song on repeat. Some of the nurses that knew the song, they will sing along with me. I was just fighting back until that gauge became more of positivity and less of negativity.
Wow.
And it was God. Without God, I don't know where I will be today.
Toby, you are such an inspiration. Honestly.
I am not the inspiration.
He is.
It is the inspiration through God.
Yes. I love that.
Because God allowed this to happen to me so that I can help people to see the light in their darkness.
Whoa. Oh, please tell me that thing you said about, when
now,
we wait for.
I will. Now, you see, many a times, you are going through struggles, you are going through trials, tribulations.
Yeah.
See, guys, I want to tell you this. I got to have a rethink about these quotes that people say there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And this was when I was having a meditation with God. We call ourselves the light of the world. We are the salt of the world.
Yeah.
Now, you're waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel. Why wait that long? When you can be the light in the tunnel.
I love that. When he told me, I was like, wow.
Why do we stress ourselves when we can be that light in the tunnel? The only thing that happens is that the devil always tries to prolong and just take us to that point where we lose it.
Yeah.
Now, many people will wait till that point they get to the end of the tunnel. But isn't it beautiful when you are the light in the tunnel?
Yeah.
You help people to illuminate. That's where you become an inspiration. As a light. Now, this is another way I can describe.
Yes.
I focused on the pain behind the purpose. I mean, the purpose behind the pain, rather. I didn't focus on the pain. I focused on the silver lining in the storm.
Let me interrupt you. Let me tell you, because we need to get this. So you focused on the purpose behind the pain. But wait, let me actually say this. You make it sound so simple. You're going through pain. How were you able to even know that there was a purpose in your pain?
That is because I decided to be that light in the tunnel.
Okay.
So that was where it also... See, it started from all those... I choose happiness. I decide to be happy. Yeah. And it's intentional. Is it easy? No.
Okay.
I will still take you guys through the process of how I was able to forgive.
Yeah.
Because that was the final process. Without that, I don't think I'll be here speaking with you guys.
Wow.
I will not be here. Now, I'm going to just try and make it... I'll make it brief. Okay. Now, I want to say this, that... You see, I was saying something that is also when you say silver lining in the storm. Sometimes the storm... See, these storms sometimes are meant to happen. It will come and it will go.
Yeah.
Now, a wise man said something. He said, you may not be able to control the storm. So just like the example that I gave, you can't control that loss of that job, the grief and everything. Just like the way I couldn't control the finger that pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But he said, you can learn how to dance in the rain. So the storm provided that rain.
Yeah.
When you dance in that rain, imagine how beautiful this scenario I just put it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rain that the storm provides.
Yes.
Now, you see, I'm saying it like it's easy. It's not easy. It's deliberate. Now, where does all this come from? Because of the love for self. I am the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. That love for self initially is where it came from. If you love yourself, you want to do what will hurt you.
Yourself, yes, yeah.
So it started from self-evaluation, self-love, and just giving back that energy, that vibration.
Yeah.
And it just resonates with everyone around you. So to cut the long story short, after all of this, I started to inspire people. People were so inspired. My story was on Twitter, you know. Now, there was something missing.
What was
it
that?
It was that bitterness, that anger. And I want to share this for anyone struggling with unforgiveness.
Okay.
Now, look at me. I've never been so tolerant of human beings in my life. And I'm saying the good that this forgiveness journey has taught me.
Okay.
I'm now more tolerant of humans.
Wow.
I am so quick to forgive. I don't hold grudges. There is a reason.
Tell us.
Now, I knew that. See, anytime I look at that guy's face, because it was the last person I saw.
Yeah.
And that gun being pointed at my face, there was this trauma.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm in a car, maybe an Uber, and I'm sitting in the car, and I don't, these guys are all on the street.
Yes.
Just that small touch on the window, I fidget.
Oh, yes.
Now, it takes me back to that pain. Yeah. I knew that this was something I need, because I was still feeling this bitterness towards that guy that, he must pay for what he did to me. Blah, 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 blah. And I remembered what Jesus Christ told us. Yeah. Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. Hurt people.
Yeah.
And God, this was the Holy Spirit ministering to me, and I was like, God, how do you forgive somebody that made you blind? Don't tell me that rubbish. This was what I said in my mind.
Yeah.
God just said, okay, do it your way. And I just kept on going back to that pain. I was saying, why is this happening? Now I knew I wasn't free. I thought I was. But I remember when I knew that it was because I have not forgiven. And again, I will say this again, a quick disclaimer, it's not easy.
No.
I knew I had to do it. So this was how.
For yourself also.
For me,
yes,
again,
yes.
I like what you said. Let's remind ourselves. For me, for self, I love myself enough. I don't want to go through that pain anymore.
Yeah.
And I want to set me free.
Yes.
It's not about that person that hurt you.
Yeah.
It's about you that keep taking that poison and you're still hurting yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I always tell people this. Unforgiveness is like holding hot coal. For those of us who know, we used to eat boli. Maybe when you're in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Sister Fuge, you know boli now?
Yes.
You know that hot coal?
Yes.
Unforgiveness is like holding that hot coal. You're feeling that pain. Imagine the pain it took us. But you still keep holding on to it.
Yeah.
That's what unforgiveness. That is just the literal way I can describe it.
I love that illustration. Yes.
Because it's paining you.
Yeah.
But you can set it free by letting it go. And stop the pain. But most times, I know it's hard for most of us. That person that hurt us, that person that did that nasty thing to us.
I guess we want to see justice done.
Exactly.
That's how I think.
So God say, now this guy did not come to ask for forgiveness. I don't know if he has been caught. But all I know that I needed to do was set myself free. So this was what I did. Anytime I'm going through challenges, I drive to the beach all by myself.
Okay.
I'll just drive. This was where I love to connect with God. I love nature. Do
you drive now?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
When you say you drive by yourself, as in you take Uber or
No, like I'll go to the beach all by myself. I'll just drive alone.
How do you drive?
I'll just drive alone to the beach, all by myself, and I'll walk to the beach. There was this spot close to at Oniru Road.
Sorry, let's just clarify something. Was this before you got blind?
Yeah, before I got blind.
Okay.
Now, I was trying to say that this was how I connect with God in my own lonely time.
Okay.
I could just drive to the beach and just go to the water and just pray.
Okay.
I pray to God and connect with God. Anytime maybe I want to pray about something I'm going through, a challenge, financial challenge, and anything.
Okay.
And you see, that was the same thing I know I needed to do.
Okay.
So I told my loved ones to take me to the beach. They were surprised. What's Tommy going to do in the beach? They don't know that's where I have my quiet time with God. Now, to cut the long story short, we went to the beach. My brother took me by the hand. I told him to take me to the water. I just want to feel the water touch my legs and just smell the ocean breeze, you know. And I told him to just leave me all by myself there.
Okay.
Me, I knew what I wanted for myself.
Okay.
So, see, I've never felt this kind of emotion in my life before. What I'm about to explain to you.
Okay.
If you want to let that tears come down, please let it. Now, I remember just dipping my leg in the sand and I started another conversation with God. Like that day, I set myself free from depression.
Yes.
I knew that this was another thing I needed to God to help me with. Okay. And I remember this was what I said. This was my word, and I quote, God, you said I should forgive somebody that made me blind, but I don't know how.
Okay.
All I want to ask you is to help. All I ask you is to help me on this journey.
Okay.
Help me.
Right.
I remember watching that movie, The Shark. I don't know if you have seen that movie.
Yes. I've seen The Shark. I read the book.
God started to take me back through that movie. Okay. I've listened to the audiobook as well.
Yes.
You know, it took me back through that process of that man that forgave. At the end of the day, he forgave someone that took his daughter's life.
Yes.
I was like, how? And I was now feeling because this person took something away from me.
Yes. Yeah.
Something so precious, my sight.
Yeah.
I was like, God, how?
Yeah.
And I started repeating what Mark, his name was Mark.
Okay.
I started repeating what he was repeating. And God told me to just say, I forgive you. And I said it out loud. I know there are some people around me that were wondering, what's wrong with this man? I forgive you. And see, guys, I was saying this with a smile on my face and tears rolling down my eyes.
Wow.
I've never felt this emotion before. It was such an emotion of humanity. I felt so human. I felt so spiritual. I felt like I had God in me at that point. That I felt like I knew what Jesus Christ went through when he looked at the people that loved him. I mean, that he loved rather. And they were pointing fingers at him and saying, crucify him. And now this same Jesus, this beautiful human being said, God, please forgive them for they know more what they do.
Yeah.
I felt that experience.
Wow.
I wish I can feel that experience again. So this is to anyone struggling with unforgiveness. I will just tell you this. Don't do it for that person that hurt you.
Do it for yourself.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
It's all about you.
Yeah.
Now, this was where...
Do you know what, Tommy, do you know what I love what you just said? Because a lot of times, even when we say we want to forgive, and we say, because of God, we say because of God, but you said, do it for you. And that is very powerful. Yes, it's something God wants us to do. God wants us to forgive. But at the end of the day, it's for us. So that we can receive the blessings, so we can connect with God properly.
You see what the devil does, Sister Funke?
Yeah.
There's a veil.
Yeah.
He blinds us with that veil.
Yeah.
And it doesn't let us to see that we are hurting ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you feel so justified that this person hurt me. He must pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. But even when the person goes to jail, does it still stop that thing?
No.
That the person no. If you don't forgive, you still continue to feel it.
Yes.
But there's nothing like that freedom that knowing fully well that you have just let go.
Let go. Wow.
Just let go and leave it to God. You know. So, but like I always say, it's not easy.
Of course not. It can't be. It can't be. It can't. It definitely.
So, anyways, this is now the inspiring part.
Yeah.
This is where I start to call myself the illuminator, the blind illuminator, by a mentor of mine. And this was why he called me the blind illuminator. He told me that, Tommy, you are blind, but you you have more sight than many of us that have physical sight.
Yes, 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 yes.
And that will bring me to the topic.
Yeah.
This was how I gained insight. I looked at my life and I realized that told me you could be a source of hope to people. I was never a public speaker. I don't speak. I wasn't into storytelling. But I realized that I needed to be that light, that channel of hope to, even if it's one person.
Yeah.
And I like what you said. If you know that you said that.
Yes.
Even if it's one person, my life inspires.
Yeah.
I die one of the happiest person in the world.
Yeah. Oh.
And I always say this to God. I say, God, if giving me back my sight will take me a step further away from you, or will not make me live a fulfilled life like I'm doing now, then God, I don't want it back.
Oh my goodness. Totally.
That is the experience and the beautiful experience that I have with God now.
Toby, you're going to make me cry now because, oh my God, I don't know if you guys heard what he said. Now,
I literally see. I'm sure God was even surprised that I came from me.
Oh my God.
Because I have this. Ever since this happened, I now have conversations with God. I'm like, Rose of Sharon, what's up now? How you doing? You know, I wake up in the morning. I say this in my head. I'm like, Rose of Sharon, how you doing? We don't ask God how you doing. He's human like us.
Wow.
So I had a conversation with God. I'm like, see, bro, if because it's my brother, it's my friend, it's my father, so I just call him anything I want at any time.
Yeah.
I'm like, bros, how now? See, if you are going to give me back this sight, and I'm not experiencing this kind of relationship I have with you, I don't want it back.
Oh wow, this is just. Oh my
you know,
God.
this was like a hilarious thing, but it was real.
Wow.
It was real emotions that, see, if I would do this for humanity, if you make me leave this legacy of being an inspiration and making all that happened to me to be a source of inspiration, make it to be this way. If this is your will, if this is why you allowed this to happen in the first place, then let it be. As long as I'm a source of hope to maybe just one person listening to this video right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, Toby. Wow.
So sometimes your pain, and when you overcome, just like Christiana, is it Christiana again?
Christina, yes.
Yeah, just like Christiana's story, and some of those stories, and people you bring to this platform.
Yeah.
I want to say this to every one of them, and anyone who is listening. Your experience, your journey, is a lifesaver to somebody out there. All it takes is for that person to hear your story. So please speak out. Because when you share, you might just be saving a life. I remember when I was on Clubhouse, and I'm going to end with this and maybe take questions. I remember when I was on Clubhouse, and a white man, an American, I was in an American room, it was a storytelling room.
Yeah.
They were encouraging people to come and share their story. Yeah. I was new on Clubhouse back then.
Yeah.
So I just came up and I shared. I didn't even share properly. I don't, I just spoke like a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Like every Nigerian. Yeah. And this man went all the way to my profile, took my WhatsApp number and called me and started crying.
Wow.
Sister Funke asked me why he was crying.
Why?
He was just about to commit suicide.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So he was crying, and with his American accent, was like, Tommy, thank you so much. Wow. I was like, why are you thanking me? He said, I just heard you speak. And why did I encourage you to share? He said, Tommy, if you hadn't shared your story, I just might have committed suicide.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
So God takes us through experiences in life sometimes so that we'll be that light in the tunnel,
not at the end.
Other people.
Yeah.
Not just to ourselves, but help people to realize their own light.
Yes.
And that's why when you ask me what I do, I help people to see the light in their darkness. That's why my mentor calls me the blind illuminator. I bagged my certificate in mental health counseling at Institute of Counseling at Ikoyi here in Lagos, Nigeria. The purpose was to, I was so focused about mental health and, depression. I wanted to help people as well with my journey.
Yeah.
So I started, I'm a certified counselor now, apart from being a public speaker. So just wrap it up, and I'm going to just wrap it up with this quote by this lady called Nightbird from
Yes, I
America's Got
remember her.
Talent.
Yes. Oh.
See, rest in peace. She said something, and I want us to take this home.
Yeah.
She said, oh my gosh, I wonder what kind of strength that lady has. She said, don't wait until life is no longer hard before you decide, before you choose, like I did.
Yeah.
Before you choose to be happy.
Yes.
That was Nightbird. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Search Nightbird, Golden Buzzer.
Yeah. It's on, her
It's
account
on
is still on
YouTube.
Instagram.
You can search.
Yeah.
Sister Funke, I hope I've not been able to confuse, but inspire anyone that is listening right now.
You have more than inspired us. Seriously.
Thank you so much.
This has been, I don't even know the words to use, because it has really touched the deep core of my heart, honestly.
There's also the inspiring story of my wife.
Yes,
I
want to hear that. But I just want to say to the people listening, if you've got any questions for Tommy, please put it in the question box. You heard him say he'll answer the question. But again, what she's going to share about is his amazing wife, who, despite his not being able to see, anyway, let me leave him to share this story in the short minutes that we have. Go on, please.
Okay. Now, as a businessman, I started as I was a businessman.
Yes.
I was trying to set up.
Yeah.
Now, we were dating back then.
Okay.
The plan was to get married. I've never been in a relationship, an unserious relationship. The purpose was always to get married.
Okay.
If I'm going into a relationship, I don't believe in purposeless relationships.
I love that purposeless relationship.
I don't believe in it. That's me. That's who I am. All these friends with benefit, no. So now, I remember when I was going. There was this, I had, as a young man, trying to make the millions and everything, and it wasn't forthcoming. As a young man who is so futuristic, and I looked at myself, and I looked at my girlfriend, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to have enough in the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And look at me. This was me forgetting the power of God. But you see, that's the thing that we do. We are so focused on tomorrow, focused on yesterday, and we don't live our daily bread.
Gosh.
We don't live the now. Jesus Christ has said it. Why focus on now? Give us our daily bread.
Yeah.
So most times, many things that we think that is going to happen doesn't even happen in the first place.
It doesn't. No.
Most of our fears, studies have shown that 90% of our fears
they don't happen. Yeah.
Now, I had this fear that I won't be able to take care of her. I had this fear that let her go. Just let her go and meet someone that has money. I wanted her to have the best, and this was me loving her.
Okay.
So I started creating fight out of no fight. I would just be acting up, just to push her away. I didn't want to be the one to say, babe, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. Now, to cut the long story short, I had to tell her. And one day I called her, we had a conversation, and I said, babe, all of these things is for a reason, the reason why I'm acting up, and this is why.
Yeah.
I told her that I don't think you can be able to wait for me. Age is not on your side. I felt like, ladies and age,
yes.
I was just concerned about her.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want to marry, because coming from I was raised by a single parent.
Yeah.
I had big dreams.
Yeah.
I wanted to start well,
yes.
know. So I remember telling her, you can't wait for me. Go. There are better guys out there with even better, career and everything.
Yeah.
But this lady was crying. She said, Tommy, don't say that. I'm not with you for the money and yada yada yada. But I insisted.
Okay.
So I hung up and I stopped picking her calls. How stupid I was. She will call She will call, I will not pick. She will send message, told me, don't do this. I'm not with you for the money. But this was a month before this happened to me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, now, I just ghosted her. That's the word.
Yes.
I ghosted her. This was somebody I loved, but just because I felt she deserved more.
Okay.
You know, and it was out of love. I'll be frank.
Okay.
But I just think I was just selfish. That was just the problem. Now, to cut the long story short, a month later, I was robbed. This experience.
Yeah.
Now, the next day, my brother took my phone and he was like, told me, let's call Anu. My wife's name is Anu Luakpo.
Okay.
And isn't her name? She's living after her name. The meaning of Anu Luakpo is the mercy of God is plenty.
Plenty, yes, yes.
And the mercy of God is really plenty in the life of my wife.
Wow.
Now, the next day, my brother took my phone. He said to me, let's call Anu. Hey, in my mind, I'm like, guy, you don't even want to know what I did. She's not going to answer you. Because she stopped calling me.
Okay.
So I felt like so I didn't bother calling.
Yeah.
He moved on, yeah. So I remember my brother took my phone and called her behind my back.
Okay.
And immediately he said, when she picked up and he told her, he said she screamed. And immediately she asked, where is the hospital? Okay. To cut the long story short, she came that same day.
Wow.
So she came that same day and she held my hand. The moment she held my hand, Sister Funke.
Yeah.
Now, for the first time when I was told I would not be able to see, nobody knew I was crying. There was bandage on my eyes, this huge heavy bandage.
Yeah.
And immediately I asked her, why did you come? After what I've done to you.
Yeah.
Guess what she said to me?
What?
She said, shut up. I've started again. Said, rest. Kept on saying, just rest. Said I should not talk.
Wow.
To cut the long story short, my mom, who is a very rigid person, just started liking her.
Wow.
Forget that she came to support you.
Yeah.
Even if you're a lady, you're a babe, and you come to support me, my mom will still be harsh on you. I just don't know. My mom and her friend who came from UK to see me back then, who brought one gown, a blouse for somebody else, just suddenly like this, my wife, and gave her that blouse. Now, that was not all. After like 2 weeks, guess what my wife said, guys? After 2 weeks, she looked at me and she said to me, I cannot leave you like this. And guys, I didn't have more than $70 in my account. All the meals I was looking for, I want you guys to follow me. I didn't have more than $70 in my account.
Wow.
Now, this woman, out of nowhere, comes to tell me, I think we should get married.
Wow, she actually said that to you.
Because we had spent money on bills and everything. Now, I'm going to make this brief for you guys. Now, I looked at her and I'm like, I can't see her, but I'm imagining her face. I'm like, are you blind? Can't you see I'm blind? It was so funny. I'm like, this is the lady I'm telling that. See, at this point, my life is just God at this point, you know. I've left it all to God. How my life is going to go, I don't know. But I'm like, how do you say you're going to marry somebody who just lost his sight and is now cannot see? So to cut the long story short, we got married the next year. It happened September 12th. We got married January 1st.
Wow.
With just roughly 40,000 naira in our account.
Wow.
Now, we started staying in family house, and as God will have it, because of our story, because of this woman, people started getting our story from abroad. There was a lady that called, furnished our house, told us to go house something, fitted the house with air conditioning. A lady called from the UK.
Wow.
It's just God, all because of this woman. We have an amazing son. Another one is on his way. By God's grace.
Congratulations. Wow.
Another one is on his way very soon. She's in our 3rd trimester.
Wow.
God has just been so good to us. There are needs there, there are wants there, but I've learned not to complain. You know, there's this need of want to travel. We are looking for money to travel and everything. But I have learned to, you see, I've come to a point in my life. Sometimes when my wife is complaining about when things are not going as planned and things are not going well, you know, sometimes we are struggling. I'm like, babe, the God that did this to us when we got married is still that God. So there's this prayer we pray. God, we don't look up to any man, but we trust you enough to send man to help us.
Oh, I love
so
that.
Ever since then, Sister Fuke, sometimes somebody will just call us and remember my story and say to me, I take this 200,000.
Wow.
And at that point, I will need to pay for bills.
Wow. God
just shows up in ways I don't just understand.
Wow. God is amazing. God is awesome. God is awesome. And you found a good wife.
I think that word that says, "We will find a wife, find a good thing."
Yes.
If you really understand it and you really dwell in it. Because I praised my wife.
Yes. Wow.
I really found a good thing.
Yes, so a good thing. I know
me that I wasn't financially buoyant to take care of myself. I can now take care of a family of 3.
Wow.
Because of God and this woman.
God is awesome.
She's not just, she's also God sent to my life. Apart from other people, I'll forever cherish her. She's not here now. She's in the living room.
Wow.
Because of William. William is always coming to, I don't want you to scatter our live video.
No, we can see them at the end. Please, we'd love to see her.
Prince William. I like the English names. I've always been so this was how it happened. I look back, I just look back sometimes and I'm like, God, you are real.
Yes.
God, you exist.
Yes.
And He will not let us go through what we cannot handle.
He won't. He won't. He won't.
And this is to everyone listening. I hope I've also been able to inspire you with my love story as well. Thank you so much.
Yes, you have, Tommy. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. First of all, Christina, she's on and she sends her love. She said to say she loves you.
I must say to Christina, I am inspired by Christina. Christina's story was the one that caught my attention. I just kept on watching to the end. Christina, thank you so much for inspiring people. You made us to realize that sometimes we don't focus on ourselves, and which is similar to what I shared.
Yes.
We need to focus on ourselves as well. You can't give what you don't have, just like what Christina said. I can remember a couple of things she said, and you resonated as well. You can't give what you don't have. So love yourself first. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yes.
Because what Christina was doing then, she didn't even think about herself. She was thinking about pleasing others. That was what I saw. I don't know that she can.
You're right.
Prove me wrong. That was just what I saw. She was thinking about, a career. She just wants to be the best. But at the detriment of her health. I learned a lot. I think people need to check that as well. People really need to check that. So thank you so much,
thank
Sister
you, Tommy. Please, how can people connect with you? Tell us about your foundation and everything.
Actually, my foundation, I've actually put it on hold for reasons, my traveling reasons. And I'm planning to move. We call it Japan now.
You want to Japan?
Exactly. So I've been trying to focus on moving to the US. I'm applying for a couple of colleges and stuff. That's basically what I'm focusing on now. So we are just trusting God for financial support, because it's a lot.
So if
I'm moving with family, I'm moving with my son, my wife. So this is what I'm focusing on now. But I want to get that admission first before I start trying to solicit for, because it's a lot. So on the other day I solicit for funds for my foundation for persons with disabilities. But the focus now is, just like what we are saying, self. I need to make sure my family is okay. To be frank, I don't want to sound political. Like I said earlier, I don't want my son to experience I don't want you to go through that risk. It's more like a risk because it can happen to anybody. I don't know when Nigeria is going to get better. But for now, at least let me be in a better society where we respect persons with disabilities. My country don't give a damn about me. I'm unapologetic about it. There's no support from the government. If not for God, who have been using people, only God knows where I will be today. So how people can connect with me, you can reach out to me on Instagram, it's Tomi_Waziri. And also one way you can support me is by subscribing to my YouTube channel. I just got monetized of recent. I've been able to raise just $10. $10. So far so good. And this was like last month.
Okay.
You know, so I need more views, you know, more likes.
Please. And
please
your YouTube is Tomi Waziri, isn't it?
No, it's Tomi the Illuminator.
Tomi the Illuminator. Okay, Tomi the
Illuminator. That's D. Tomi D. Just D, letter D.
Letter D.
The Illuminator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, guys.
So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like my videos, watch my videos, and share. It's supportive, you know. I also want to be in fact, I'm already a full-time YouTuber.
Okay.
I do my relationship coaching there as well, and relationship advice. You see a couple of videos there. Okay. You can check my Instagram. My YouTube page is linked to my Instagram page, so you can also check it there, or you can search on YouTube Tomi the Illuminator.
Right. And
you can also connect with me on Facebook, the same name, Tomi Waziri. You can search my name on Facebook. Okay. You want to talk to me? Why not? I'm free to speak.
Fantastic.
You know, talk to me. I'll answer you. I will take you through that journey as well. I'll help. I can help. You know, I'm free to talk to anyone. So yeah, thank you so much.
If anybody wants to reach out to him, he's told you his Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Send him a DM, and if you feel led to just give something towards to his family, to him and his family, please send him a DM.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. But
thank you.
Your story has been so inspiring. My goodness. Wow. You've encouraged me, and I know you've encouraged every single one on this platform. This is amazing. You know, it's not just about what happened, but even how you've been able to come through and the insights that you have. Whoa.
Exactly.
I already have someone who said, there's a lady who was on. She's a cancer survivor. And she said she wanted to get you to talk to her women who are going through cancer. So I'm sure she'll reach out to you.
Please connect with me. I love things like this. Yeah. I would love to connect with that person, please.
Okay, I will connect both of you. I'll connect you guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or better still, she can even send me a DM. Yeah. And I want people to know this. I respond. I chat by myself. Many people don't know that blind people do this. So if you send me a message on Instagram, just know I'm not responding to you. Thanks to iPhone. There was a lady that sent me an iPhone 8 Plus from the UK when this happened. That's what I'm still using. That's what I'm using now. Okay. So she does Google that what's the best phone for blind people. Wow. You know, so she got me an iPhone 8 Plus, and that's what I mean. I chat on Facebook. Feel free. My WhatsApp number as well is in. You can reach out to me. It's in my Instagram as well. So yeah, just feel free to connect with me.
Please, yes. Amazing. Thank you so much. God bless you, Tomi. God bless you.
God bless you too.
May God continue to strengthen you. May He continue to give you so much wisdom. You have wisdom. May you continue to see things from God's perspective. May the Lord take you to greater heights. May He grant you the desires of your heart. Oh Lord God. Father, thank you for this son of yours that you're using mightily. Thank you for what you're going to, you know, the scripture says, eyes have not seen, nor have heard or ears heard what you're going to do in his life and that of his family. Thank you, Father, Lord God. I'm excited for you, Tomi. I'm really, honestly, I'm excited.
It's the Lord's doing.
I know it's definitely the Lord's doing.
It's not by my power.
I know.
It can only be God. Because even me, I look back to my life, I'm like, in 3 years, in less than a month, I was able to overcome.
Wow.
I'm like, how? I can't have done it myself. It can only be God. It's only by His grace, it's by His inspiration, it's by His strength, and His help. You know,
wow.
It's just God. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. And thank you everyone for joining. Don't forget, please subscribe to his YouTube channel, like it, watch his videos, because all of that makes a difference, especially now that he's able to monetize it. Please, 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 every single person here, just do that. If nothing else,
that's also another way I want to inspire people. I don't want to just be out there relying on people. I want to prove to people that I also can do something. After going through such, so being a full-time YouTuber, doing all these things that I'm doing, even though it's not bringing so much income, but I know with God's grace,
Yeah.
If I'm able to grow my audience on YouTube,
Yes.
that's also, it's also a job, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
People are doing YouTube full time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I've decided to do this and also do what I love by inspiring people.
Yes.
You know, by, you know, just being there for people.
Yeah.
You'll see a couple of helpful videos in my, you know, I shared my story. There's also the video of how I help people, tell people, I told people how to be happy.
Yeah.
You know, how I forgave. There are a couple of videos you'll find useful there. So yeah, thank you so much.
Please, please, please do that. Follow him, like his videos, subscribe to his channel, please. If not, please, yes.
That's how YouTube has always do. Please subscribe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
I will share. I'm going to share the video, and I'll put it on YouTube. And when I put this video on YouTube, please send it to every single person that you know, because this has been so inspiring. And like, you know, like Tommy said, you never know if just one person, his story would change the life of one person. So please share the video. And thank you everyone for listening, for joining us. And thank you, Tony, for being such a blessing. God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you too, ma'am.
Take care.
I don't know if anybody has questions.
Is your wife able to come? Let's see her. Is she near you?
Oh, okay. Baby. I don't think she's here. She's not here.
Okay. All right. We'll probably get to meet her another.
Oh, okay. She's coming.
Yay! I know you are called.
Is William asleep? Yeah, come and say hi to our guest. They want to say hi to you.
Please come. Don't tell me my pillow. I'm not looking for whatever.
Just bend down and say hi.
Hello. How are you?
Hi.
Thank you so much. And you are such a, in fact, your story is inspiring. Your story
Thank you
really
very
inspiring.
much.
Thank you. God bless
Thank
you.
you, sir. Amen.
I love you.
Oh, love.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, Toby. See you later. Bye, folks.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.